Hey everyone, it's Nico from the blog documentingsimpleliving.com, and today I am making garlic and herb popped beans. Popped beans are essentially just beans that have been cooked or beans that come in a can that you fry on a very hot temperature in oil and then add seasoning to them. I have been researching high protein snacks for labor because my partner and I are expecting another baby soon. Of course, beans are very high in protein and lentils as well, but I rarely feel like just eating a handful of beans. And so I was looking for kind of a variation on it that's more of a snacky type thing and came across the idea of popped beans. So today I want to show you how to make garlic and herb popped beans, which is something I've made a few times now. And they're super delicious and super simple to make. The first thing you want to do is either soak beans overnight with a little bit of apple cider vinegar to help neutralize some of the enzymes that are harder to digest, or just open a can of already cooked beans and rinse them really well in water until the water runs clear. If you are soaking your beans, just strain them off the following day and put them into a pot with water and simmer them until they are fully cooked. It usually takes me about an hour on a low simmer to cook the beans. Once you have cooked beans, the next step is to put oil into a cast iron skillet on your stove and heat it until it's quite hot. So I used coconut oil. You could use any oil that you have on hand, but I would recommend staying away from really refined oils like canola oil, grapeseed oil. These just don't have a lot of health benefits. Coconut oil, you can buy it in bulk and it is one of the healthier oils. So I added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil into my cast iron skillet and I heated it up really hot and put my beans directly into the oil. While the beans were frying, I went into our backyard and I picked some of the herbs that we have that are really taking off. I made a video about how I made our hanging herb garden. We live in a big city and have very little backyard space. This year I decided to make a hanging herb garden, and it just hangs on the side of the fence that lines one side of our backyard. If you missed that video, I'll link it in the description to show you how to make your own if you also live in a small space. So I went out there and I picked some parsley and thyme and came back inside and minced up about 10 cloves of garlic as well. I used a wooden spoon to move the beans around to make sure that all sides of the beans were becoming crispy and browned. Once they were getting browned, I added in the herbs. And added in the garlic. I let the garlic and herbs sit on the heat for about a minute and then I turned it off and I just let everything sort of combine in the pan but without the heat on. Then I sprinkled some salt on top. I wanted to do this while the oil was still hot so the salt would stick to the beans. Then I put them in a bowl and ate them right away. Now you can put them in the refrigerator in a sealed container, and then when you want to eat them again, what I would recommend is probably that you put them in your skillet again and heat them up slightly, because especially if you use coconut oil, it will harden and they won't be as delicious. So if you heat them up again, the oil will melt and they'll have that kind of crispy texture that is really delicious. They are also delicious on top of soup. So if you make like a tomato soup or a creamy soup, you could add these on top. Or they're really great on salads as well, to add a bit of protein to a salad or a bit of more flavor. You can use any type of bean that you have on hand. I have made these with broad beans and white beans. You could, of course, use your own beans. Maybe you're growing beans in your garden this spring and summer, and you have some that are ready to go. You can pick them and use them in this recipe. If you would like to print off this recipe, there is a free recipe card on documentingsimpleliving.com. I'll leave a link to the post in the description below. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will speak to you in the next Documenting Simple Living video.